Liverpool v Newcastle 1985. In 1985, Newcastle had a major football hooligan firm called Newcastle Mainline Express. In this video, we discuss what happened when they arrived in Liverpool for their meetup. Liverpool at the time was a very difficult place to visit for any away fan, as we have discussed many times on this channel. Let's hear the stories. Newcastle NME member Ralph tells us his story. We arrived early morning in 2 coaches and went into the usual pubs, a couple of miles from Anfield. A couple of hundred of us drinking and waiting for the Scousers, but they never arrived. So we went looking for them, thinking maybe they were waiting at one of their usual ambush areas, Stanley Park. When we got there, nothing, just the normal fans getting to the ground. Still no police escort, so one of the lads said, "I wonder if we could go into the Kop without being detected." And that's when we agreed to do it. Actually try to take the Kop. I mean, it was madness, but we went in Sunderland's Fulwell end a week or so ago, so why not? We queued in silence, and once inside the ground, some of our lot was spotted by the police and chucked out. About 30 of us made our way into the Kop and sought out the middle of it, where we stood in silence. The enormity of our task hit home. It's one thing standing in Sunderland's Fulwell with 300 NME by your side, but this place was huge, and we were crammed together like sardines within the 15,000 Scousers. We started to get some funny looks, and then one Scouser asked who we were. That was the cue to attack, which we did with fists and feet flying all over the place. Somehow, a gap appeared. I've always been amazed at that. A totally packed stand, with folk all crammed in together, can suddenly find the room for a large gap. Weird. Anyway, the Scousers actually were taken aback and didn't seem sure what to do. But one of theirs let off a flare which whizzed into us, and that seemed to be the cue for them to attack. And attack they did, forcing us down to the front of the Kop. Once there, we couldn't get out because of the bloody fence, so we had to stand and take the battering from hundreds of Scousers. We tried to climb the fence but were simply pulled down and attacked. One of ours got stabbed in the arse for his trouble. The police were very slow to come to our aid, but eventually they managed to find a gate in the fence for us to make our escape, still being punched and kicked by the Scousers. We were led down the side of the pitch to the away fans with the booming sound of the Kop, singing, "You'll never take the Scousers." Once in with our fans, we were laughing and joking about being stupid enough to try and take the Kop. But that was us, bleeding mental. After the match, it was chaos with the Scousers trying to break the police escort and attack us. But we held it together and managed to get away from that dump intact. What a day. Never forget it. We took liberties there, we did. Liberties. Liverpool fan Colin recalls the events of that day. "I don't remember 30 of them. More like 10 complete bloody fools who got themselves caught in the middle of the Kop. They were lucky most of ours took pity on them, or it could have got really nasty. We don't and didn't take well to away fans in the Kop, especially those days, so they really were either drugged up or mental, or both. After being kicked and punched stupid by some of our more aggressive lads, they managed to extricate themselves from the melee and walked round to their other fans in the Annie Road. I did hear that they got a terrible beating after the match for having the audacity to enter the sacred Kop. But a bit of a non-event, really. I think a couple of other firms tried it on in the Kop with very similar results. Chelsea, Man United and West Ham all tried and failed. No one has ever taken the Kop. We thank Ralph and Colin for their recollections. It's clear that some NME did get into the Kop. What's not so clear is how many. But crazy all the same, considering the Kop held about 15,000 Scousers at the time. 30 against 15,000, total madness. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and comment, and of course subscribe if you haven't already.